This is the DRD Art MIDI. It's a project that I've been working on for a while now, and I'm ready to get it out in the world and see what you guys think of it. It's still very much in beta, and it has some dependencies. It requires that you're running Ableton Live Suite 9. It also requires that you're running Max 7, and perhaps a few other things. Still beta testing this to see what all you'll need to make it work. So, even though it's still in this beta test or beta period, I'm ready to get it out there, see what you guys think of it, see what you guys can do with it, and get your feedback on what needs to be changed or adjusted or fixed or improved about this device. So what is the DRD Art MIDI? It is a probabilistic arpeggiator, meaning that I can use probability to control or develop the patterns that come out of it. It's got a few other interesting features, but let's dig into it. So first, what does it do? It allows me to take incoming MIDI data and break it up into an arpeggiated pattern. So if we look at the data that this one is receiving, it's just receiving a minor 7th chord. So if we tab back over, we pop open the arpeggiator tab, I can see the pattern that it's playing. We can have it play the chord, or break that chord up going from bottom to top, or from top to bottom, or random. Let's go back to up. So then from there, we can set the rhythm that this arpeggiates at. And it's designed so that I specify how many of what. So currently I've got 4 quarter notes, or 4. I could set this to give me 8 quarter notes. And now I'm getting 8 quarter notes. Or I could say, let's go back to 5 and give me 5 quintuplets, or 5 equal divisions of my bar. And it always stays locked to our master tempo. So you can hear the metronome that it's lining up back on the downbeat every time. So each step then has 3 settings. We can turn the steps on or off, or back on. I can set how many divisions each step has, anywhere from 1 division up to 8 divisions. So I could set this last step to have 2 divisions or 8 divisions, or 3. And that's always staying in sync with whatever my master division is there. So then I can also set the probability with which these steps or the divisions occur per every single step. Now this depends upon the global probability up top here, which should be set to 100 currently. And this probability can be either determined for the entire duration of a step or recalculated for every division of that step. Then to hear the results, we have to adjust our arpeggiator to respond to the probabilities of each of these steps and each of these divisions differently. So it can set to control the next step, or the next note, so whether or not the arpeggiator actually moves on to a new note, to respond under several different circumstances. We can either do just the step times the probability, so step controlled by probability, which means that even if there aren't any, or even if there are divisions of that step, it's only going to respond to the step of that step. Or just give me a new note every time a new division occurs based upon the probability. Or give me a new note every time either the step or the division changes, but monitor the probability or determine it by probability. Or don't worry about the step as being controlled by probability, only by the division by probability, or just step, or just division, or just step and division without any probability. So if we start by going to, let's go step plus division times probability, and then let's start to bring down our probability. You can hear that sometimes a note changes here, sometimes the note changes here, but sometimes it doesn't. We could also do the same thing for output. So the arpeggiator might be moving through its pattern, but these notes may not be passed along to our synthesizer. So if we go step plus division controlled by probability, and you can hear, because we've got it set to respond to just the divisions, or the probability is determined per division, some of these divisions of our final pulse or beat here are not passed out. We can switch that to step. So now we'll only hear the complete version of this step whenever it probabilistically determines itself. Let's give it. There you go. We heard all 3 pulses in that step because probability is determined for the entire duration of the step rather than for each division of that step. So the other parameters that we can adjust is we can change the gate length. Let's go back to just quarter notes to keep this simple. And bring up the probability for each step so they always occur. So as I adjust the gate length, you'll hear the notes getting more and more legato. Or more staccato. You can hear some bugs in there, but once it's fixed, it should run appropriately. So now we can also develop, or the Art MIDI automatically stores and recalls its patterns based upon the currently playing clip on that track. So I could go through and I could develop one pattern for this clip, and I could just option drag, create a new pattern or a new clip, get that one playing, and go in and adjust it. Maybe set this one to give me 5 quintuplet notes with some divisions here, some divisions here, change my step to division, or probability division, then adjust my probabilities. And now when I switch back to the first one, it goes back to the first pattern on this one, new pattern. So the whole idea is that this thing is actually integrated into your workflow within Live. So you can start developing patterns per clip. It doesn't have to be named, it just automatically keeps track of them. If it is named though, it's a little bit easier for it to keep track if you start moving your clips or reorganizing your session view. So other things, just minor details, that if I change the color of my track, maybe to lovely pink, the color of it changes just so as you're navigating through your session, it's a little bit easier to keep track of which pattern you're looking at, and so on. So this is the DRD Art MIDI. It is still very much in beta. You can download it from my website, danielrdehaan.com. Go to the DRD Devices tab. And let me know what you guys think. Try it out, use it, have fun with it, take it apart, turn it into something that I've never imagined before. But most importantly, help me and others turn this into something cool that we can all use. So, hope you like it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, or comment below with any questions or things that you might think of. And if you really enjoy my work, support me through my Patreon page. All right, thanks.